Welcome to this video essay or podcast about a very special form of storytelling, the graphic novel. Maybe you've held one in your hands before, or maybe you've never taken them seriously thinking, aren't comics just for kids? I promise you, by the end of these 10 minutes, you'll see them with different eyes. What is a graphic novel? A graphic novel isn't just a traditional comic book, although they may look similar. They tell stories through images, often with speech bubbles, sometimes with narration. But they're much more than that. A graphic novel can be political, poetic, biographical, or philosophical. It can be about superheroes or Claude Monet. It can tell stories of love, war, chess, or literature. It's a hybrid form where literature meets visual art. Text and image come together to form a complete narrative. And sometimes, the text disappears entirely, and the images tell the story on their own. My personal collection? I have a small but exciting collection. A few printed books on my shelf, but most of them I read on my iPad. For example, I have a graphic novel about Bobby Fischer, the legendary chess player, one about Claude Monet, the great impressionist, and one about Stefan Zweig, one of the most sensitive thinkers of the 20th century. I'm fascinated by how such completely different lives can be brought to life through pictures. Personally, I prefer reading graphic novels on my iPad. Why? Because I can view one panel at a time thanks to the click-to-flip function. I don't see a full page, just a single image. It's like a still frame from a movie, and that makes a big difference. You automatically slow down. You look more closely, you start noticing details that you might miss on paper. Printed versions, as beautiful as they are, often feel crowded. 5, sometimes 10 panels squeezed onto one page. You end up flipping through quickly just to get to the next scene. But in doing so, the essence of the artwork is lost. And that's a shame, because each panel contains so much effort, emotion, and artistic care. Why read a graphic novel if there are movies? It's a fair question. Why read a graphic novel when I could just watch the movie? The answer is simple, because a graphic novel gives you something a film never can. No sound, no motion, no time pressure. You control the pace. You decide how long you spend on a facial expression, a gesture, a silence. You create the movie in your mind. A graphic novel is an inner film projected by your own imagination. The drawings provide the foundation, the rest you bring to life. And yet, it's deeply connected to cinema. Every film starts as a drawn story. A storyboard. I even own an original storyboard from a Wim Wenders film. And if you look at it, you'll see a film is, in a way, a moving graphic novel. Or the other way around, a graphic novel is a film you read and see, but from within, the rich variety of themes. Many people still think graphic novels are only for teenagers or geeks, but that idea is long outdated. Graphic novels can tell stories about politics, history, psychology, migration, religion, and everyday life. I have books about Monet, Fischer, Zweig, and I've also read graphic novels that deal with depression, identity, or grief. The genre is limitless, and that's one of the most beautiful things about it. The graphic novel as art. For me, the graphic novel is a true art form. Each panel is like a small painting, a composition, a mood, a moment. Many graphic novels would deserve a place on the wall of a museum. And who knows, maybe one day they will. What these artists create is visual literature, a language spoken through lines, colors, light, and expressions. What I wish. I hope that more and more people will discover graphic novels, not as some in-between format, but as a fully valid medium of its own. That people will see the emotion, the depth, the beauty. That they'll dare to read images, not just words, that they'll allow themselves to slow down. And I hope publishers will embrace the potential of digital formats, that they won't squeeze too many panels onto one page, that they'll let the artwork breathe. So next time you're in a bookstore or browsing online, give a graphic novel a try. But don't just skim through it. Pay attention, slow down, let it in. A graphic novel is not fast food, it's a slow, satisfying meal. A story you don't just read, but see, feel, and carry with you. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this essay, feel free to share it or subscribe to the channel and tell me, what was the first graphic novel you ever read? See you next time, and until then, read something beautiful.